everyone, it's Melissa, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, hello and welcome. Are you ready to design with the newest Softlex Company design kit, Fabulous Flamingo? I am also adding in some beads claimed from the Softlex Company live sales, and they are Thursdays at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. I just thought these beautiful fire polish would be gorgeous for the design, and I am just using beads either exclusive from the kit or from the exclusive Jesse James bead mix for Fabulous Flamingo. I'm adding in a 17 millimeter laser etched butterfly coin. We are using our Softlex wire in turquoise. So it's kind of a little bit of a mixed media piece. We'll be doing some bead stringing, and then we're going to do a little bit of chain mail. So this is going to be kind of a little bit of a mixed media piece. We're going to do some basic bead stringing, and then we're going to add in just kind of a basic form of chainmail. And before we start creating, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It'll help my little channel grow. And down below in the description, I will go ahead and link the products if they are still available, as well as the current Softlex Company design kit and a link to the tutorial playlist for my creations I made with the Fabulous Flamingo design kit. Let's start creating. So we're first going to start with bead stringing. And when I'm doing bead stringing, I like to keep it on the spool. It just kind of acts as a bead stopper. So we're just going to design our little pattern here. Love these mermaid glass beads. They're so pretty. This colorway kind of reminds me of the design kit for the Great Bead Extravaganza last year. I think it was called Just Peachy, but it is kind of that beautiful summer look. And since I want some spacing and just a little bit of metal in my design, but I don't want it to take up too much room like a spacer, I'm just going to go ahead and add in a jump ring. So you just get that little bit of metal, and we are mixing our metals between gold and silver in our design. So by adding jump rings, you just want to make sure that they are completely closed. It just gives it that little touch of metal or that little highlight of metal without having the bulkiness of a spacer. So now that we have a pattern, we're just going to add them on to our turquoise wire. I love that sometimes you can see the turquoise through your design or with the Softlex wire. And we're just going to string on our jump ring like it was a bead. You just see you just get kind of that simple elegance with the golds. So we're going to keep adding on the beads until we reach our desired length, and then we're going to add on our 2x2s to our Softlex, and we'll start on our chainmail. We have our beads added on, just a beautiful summer design. We're going to add in our 2x2s, and I'm using silver. This is what came in the design kit. So your 2x2 is kind of your foundation, and it's going to keep everything secure. So we're just going to slide on your 2x2 like it was a bead. And then we're just going to go ahead and double back through our 2x2. And this is going to create a little connection point that we're going to go ahead and connect our Softlex to our jump ring. So it's up to you how big or small you would like it to be. We're going to take our pliers and give it a squeeze. This is going to flatten it. And then I just like to round it and give it a more professional finish. It just makes it look like a little bead. We have just a little bit extra Softlex wire. So we're going to make sure we trim that. And then we're just going to slide all of our beads down from our spool. We're going to cut a good workable length from our spool. And then we're just going to go ahead and add on our second 2x2. And we're going to pass it back through. And give it a pull. And then I like to make sure that my loops are fairly the same size. They don't have to be perfect. You would just like them similar. We'll go ahead and give it a squeeze and rotate. We're just going to trim off our extra Softlex. And we have the bead stringing part of our project completed. You can just see how those jump rings just kind of really highlight the beads. So a little bit of metal. So we're just going to set that off to the side for just a moment. So this is our little chainmail design that we're going to put on the side of our bracelet. So I'm just using 1-inch eye pins, and I added on one of my Czech Glass fire polish to each eye pin. So we're going to need 8 of these for each side. And this is where I'm kind of mixing my metals as well, just so you can kind of see the connection points. So we're just going to make our loops on our eye pins. You can make a basic loop with your round nose pliers, but I will be using my tool, the one-step looper. It gives me the perfect loop every time. And with this design, you want them as close to perfect as you can, or else your design kind of comes out a little lopsided. So we're just going to slide our beads into our tool and give it a squeeze. And with the smaller wires, sometimes they go flying, so you just kind of want to cover it. So the one-step looper is a wonderful tool to have, and I will go ahead and link these down below. You can go ahead and find them at most bead shops, or you can find them online at Amazon. I'll just go ahead and add on one more. Have all of our little beaded components made. I just need to take my round nose pliers and make sure that the loops are completely closed. You don't want to lose your design in your little components. So you have all our little beaded components. So now we're just going to connect them together. So this can be a little bit tricky just because your jump rings have to lay the correct way or else it kind of comes out a little lopsided. But I went ahead and mixed and matched my jump rings. So connecting them together, we're using 2 5mm jump rings to connect each one of our little eye pins. And then once we have those connected, we're going to add 3 5mm gold jump rings to the 2 silver jump rings. And this just kind of creates that little beginner friendly, basic looking chainmail. So to start, we're going to start with our silvers. And when you're doing chainmail, it's best if all your jump rings are open. It just goes a little bit faster when you have to connect them together. So when you open a jump ring, you just want to take your 2 pliers and just twist side to side. So we have some open jump rings, and then we have 2 of our little beads on our eye pin. We're going to pick up one of our jump rings, and then we're just going to attach our 2 little embellishments beads on our eye pins and give it a close. When you close jump rings, you should hear a little click and you'll know it's secure. We're going to pick up our second jump ring and attach it through one of our little loops on our eye pins and connect it to the second loop and give it a close. And if it doesn't go correctly, you're going to kind of get like a little clustered look. So we'll just make our adjustments. This is just also a wonderful project to help open and close jump rings. Sometimes it's just all in the position of how you add on that second jump ring. Give it a close. So we have on our second jump ring and we'll just give it a close. You can tell that they're going to be right next to each other if they are in the correct position. So we're just going to keep doing that until we attach all 4. We'll just pick up our next jump ring, and then we're just going to add on one of our little beads and give it a close. Pick up our next jump ring, attach it to the eye pin. Make sure our jump ring is going the correct way, and then connect it to the other little eye pin. And we're just going to continue until we have 4 on each side. So for our last one, we'll just pick up our eye pin, a jump ring, and an eye pin and give it a close. Connect our last little loop and give it a close. And we have one side completed. We'll just do the same thing on the other side. So we have our two little sides already made, and now we're just going to connect our gold jump rings to them. And we're using a spacing of 3 gold jump rings per each little component here for the two silver jump rings. So we're just going to pick up one gold jump ring, attach it to 2 silver jump rings, and then attach it to the other 2 silver jump rings on the other side and give it a close. And you can see how everything is connected. So the secret to chainmail is you don't want your project to be loose. So you would just keep adding jump rings to kind of tighten up the space here between the 2 jump rings and your eye pins. So we're going to do the same thing. Attach the next gold jump ring to the 2 silver jump rings, and then attach it. This part's a little bit easier. I think connecting all the little eye pins together with the double jump rings is the more challenging part because they kind of get twisted in the design, or they can get twisted. And then this is just kind of stacking your other jump rings together. You just want to make sure that you're attaching both of the silver jump rings to the gold jump ring. And you could use the same metal. I just wanted to show the difference for the connection points in the 2 different metals. So you could probably put maybe 1 or 2 more jump rings on here if you really wanted it secure. It's just kind of a design option. So it moves just a little bit. 3 more on the other side. And then you would just continue to do this for the remainder of your projects. So if you're doing a whole bracelet like this, you would just continue to add your jump rings to the 2 silvers. We just created the 2 little chainmail components for our bracelet. We're just going to need 4 more jump rings, a clasp of your choice. I am using the lobster claw, and then just a few additional jump rings just in case you need to extend the length of your bracelet. So we're going to open 1 more jump ring, and then we're just going to attach 2 of the sides directly to the little eye pin component. And then we're going to attach it to our beaded component and give it a close. Then we're just going to add 1 more jump ring to continue with our double jump rings. So we'll add it into our 2 eye pins, onto our soft flex wire, and give it a close. So one side is almost completed. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side, and then we're going to attach our clasp. Attach our jump ring, and then our 2 eye pins. And give it a close. On our last jump ring, attach through the 2 eye pins. And through your soft flex, and give it a close. So we have our beautiful bracelet. And now for the final steps. I'm going to open up our jump ring. And then for this one, we're just going to attach 1. We're just going to connect our 2 ends together from the eye pins. Give it a close. If you had a 2-part clasp, such as a toggle, you would just attach your clasp 1 on each side. And so I just added a jump ring on that side so it would connect to my lobster claw. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. And then we're just going to attach our lobster claw or clasp of our choice and give it a close. And we have our beautiful bracelet using beads from the Fabulous Flamingo Bead Mix and Softlex Company Design Kit, as well as these beautiful fire polish beads that were from the Softlex Company live sale. A little bit of basic bead stringing and some chainmail. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It'll help my little channel grow. And check out down below in the description for the products used in this video, as well as a tutorial playlist for all other inspiration using this Fabulous Flamingo Design Kit. Have an awesome day.